Hi, everyone, and welcome to another night of Gulu Thursdays. I am Miss Kristen. If some of you do not know me yet, I am a teacher here at Gulu Gulu Learning Academy and 412 Foundation School. And tonight we are going to be talking about the newest addition to our list of classes, which is art and music. And so let me just tap that here, get that situated. So tonight we will be talking about the art and music class that we have recently incorporated into our class list. So far, it has been really, really fun. I am the one that's teaching this class, and it definitely is a class that I'm having a lot of fun in personally because I enjoy art very, very much, but I have not been able to do a lot of art things in the past few months. But now that we have this class, I'm able to share my love for art and just share it with all of the children and also show them that art and music is much more complex than just drawing something or just listening to sounds. It's about, well, yeah, it is about that, but also there is so much more to it. There's so much more emotions. There's the cultural aspect of it. There's the time frame in which where the um like what was happening during that time, that or movements that were occurring where music was giving it power, or maybe art was giving that power. So right now we are doing the classes with more of the older group, but the younger group are like more than welcome to come and join, because honestly, I think that the younger group would definitely have a blast in this class too. But anyways, before I start spoiling too much, let's get into it. So some of you might be wondering, what are the benefits to having an art and music class? Like, what can that offer your child aside from just having a good time and being able, oh, okay. It's just loud noises all around me. Okay. So sorry about that. Anyways, some of you might be wondering, what are the benefits to this class aside from just your child being able to draw and color, listen to music, stuff like that, which, in hindsight doesn't exactly sound like it is the most beneficial, but it truly is. So tonight we're going to break down what are the benefits to having access to an art and music class through us. Okay, so here I have a list of things. However, I know since we are talking about art and creativity and music, we're going to switch this up a little bit into something more visually uh, appealing. So here we go. So let me actually move myself over this way because I'm covering part of the good stuff that we're going to be sharing. So I'm going to just make myself a little bit small up here, and I will just, put myself next to a Gulu. And yeah, so first things first, self-esteem. And self-esteem is probably one of the larger benefits of this class, because art itself helps increase a child's self-esteem and confidence by allowing them to master certain skills. I mean, how cool is it when you as a child have these capabilities of drawing? I remember when I was little and I saw someone draw something and it came out super nice. And I was like, whoa, how'd you do that? That's so cool. And that definitely boosts that other person's confidence because I admired them for that certain skill. So that allows them to have skills that other people can admire. But also, creativity and autonomy flourish when they also embrace the concept that there is no right way to make art, and that art is so much more than just coloring inside lines of a picture. It's what you want to do. It's about your self expression. It's about what looks good to you, not what looks good for someone else. It's what it is for you. So there's a lot of more meaning to that. Another benefit is imagination, self expression, and emotional development. So, art is an ideal opportunity for free play and the most important type of learning for your child. Children love to play, they love to be engaged and do things. So, this is just one of those really beneficial setups to get your child going because as they explore different subjects and experimenting with different materials, different media, such as like paint, pastels, markers, pens, pencils, and the list goes on and on and on. They can express themselves and process their emotions in a safe space because depending on maybe how that day went, maybe they just didn't have a good day, and they can use art to be able to use it as an outlet so that they can express some emotion, so that they have the freedom to do this, and of course do it in a safe space because art functions as a crucial emotional outlet, especially when children are nonverbal or maybe they are scared and overwhelmed. So those are a lot of hard emotions to process, especially at a young age. So art is definitely one of those outlets that they can use in order to still communicate the way that they feel. Our next benefit for this classroom is creative thinking and imagination, and how much that boosts because of art and music. So, looking at and creating art. So, art, when I say art, I mean encompassing both drawing and music, the process of creating music, the artistic part of music. So, that is art. So, looking at and creating art nurtures a child's early critical thinking and helps them learn to creatively solve problems. And children learn to be flexible thinkers and will be more likely to adapt to new situations and find new ways of doing things. So, this is always a plus because perhaps some of us may be a little bit hard on ourselves when we deal with change. Some children are like that too. They might have a harder time with change. However, when they do start developing their critical thinking skills and start problem solving through art, this will help them later down the road when things become new or different, and maybe they are put in a particular situation that they might not be familiar with, they won't find that as frightening or as intimidating. And of course, cultural education and perspective taking. Hey, early childhood is a critical developmental period. So there's a lot happening when your child is growing up from a very, very young age. There's a lot going on in their minds, there's a lot going on with their emotions. Um, that is a very, very important time for you to be able to share as much as you can and fill their minds with as much knowledge, not just about academics, but about everything, about the world, about creativity, about people, and of course, academics. But that's only just one piece of the pie. You have all these topics to talk about and then nourish them with. So, when children learn about the world and things around them, art is just one of those things that everyone can understand. You don't need to speak the same language with someone who is, or someone who is in Europe to both understand the meaning of an art piece, or have an opinion or ideas, or just both mutually like it. Okay, because it teaches the importance on different perspectives through other cultures and histories and stories and values and traditions. We can all learn that through art. Plus, creating and talking about art gives kids and parents the chance to share ideas and opinions, as well as help children learn about the beauty of diversity, and all the while also strengthening their own sense of self. So getting to know themselves, getting to know and appreciating beauty, and accepting that other people think this is beautiful, or this is beautiful, or you all think it's just beautiful. Okay, so this is a very important, I would say this is a very important life skill. Me, also one of the life skills teachers here at Gulu, think that this is such an important thing to teach diversity. And in using art and music is a great way to go about it. Okay, so those are just only a few of the benefits on the art and music class, but it doesn't end there, because I would like to show you guys so far what we have been doing this past week for art and music, and go a little bit in depth with what is expected out of this class, and or what you can expect from this class, and just kind of how the process goes. So we're not going to go through a whole entire sample, but I'm just want to show you just exactly what the children are seeing, and just the kind of conversations that we are having about these classes and about these particular artists. So as of right now, we are doing artists, and I will pop this up over here and switch these screens. Swap screen. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so when we had first started, right now we're on a pop art like mojo. So we had first started off with Romero Brito, and this is a very, very friendly topic. Pop art is very child friendly. It is something that is creative and light, and yet easy enough for them to start building more of appreciation for the art and the art style. Okay, we go over how, the artists. We watch short clips about who they are, what they make. Um, we go through a short biography and talk about who is this artist, where do they come from, and then following that, we talk about their does their inspiration come from, maybe the type of artwork that they have or that they make is inspired by other pieces, or maybe the style that they produce, it can be compared with another artist of some kind of the past. You know, cubism and abstract paintings are, I wouldn't say they're inspirations of Romero Brito's, but I definitely would say that they can be compared with Romero Brito's artwork, because they are similar in some ways. They do have certain aspects that are similar to this, okay, to his pieces. Okay, and then we go into what his pieces are, the colors, the feelings that they might get from just looking at these pictures, what kind of shapes, what kind of colors, what kind of lines, things like that. We would go into more videos where, or maybe another video. Usually we don't have a lot of time to watch too many. We would fit maybe one, if not two, if possible, because we got to get right into drawing. That takes the most time. But we definitely like to do a very thorough, like, and yet understandable biography and background, share the background of the artist. Okay. Next, we had done a contemporary indigenous art. Okay, so we talked about Norval Morisiu and his background and how his artwork is inspired through his indigenous roots. So this is a Canadian artist and from the First Nations, and how he used his artwork to talk about his background and culture and traditions and spirituality, and tell stories with his artwork using his traditional stories of, his cultural background. So this was uh, a really fascinating artist in particular, because during the time period, and yes, we do go into time periods of when the artist was painting and producing their artwork, and what was actually going on during that time, and what kind of artworks were coming out. So during that time, more, what is it? More of these abstract paintings were coming out. These kind of paintings were coming out too, where they're a little bit more on the simplistic side, more clean and cut. And his, well, was everywhere and was very, very colorful, very natural and organic lines. So we definitely go into a lot of artistic terms like organic lines, where it's just naturally done. Okay, our next one is Roy Lynchenstein, another pop art. And we talked about the pop art movement as well, and how that really changed the game in the art world. And of course, at the very end of all of these artworks, we do a version of their artwork. Of course, it's not going to be the same, because I allow the students to have the freedom to express themselves and change something that they want to add, or maybe that they want to make different, or maybe something that they want to pop, or they just think it's a better idea. So I allow them the freedom to do that, but of course, still being inspired by the art that is presented. So I will guide them on how the artwork can be made. And of course, they can make some changes and tweak it a little bit to their liking, but still guide them. Okay. And the best part is that while they are coloring and making their art, we are still playing music based on the background of the artist, or maybe the time period. So today we did, we didn't do Roy Lichtenstein. I can't think. Uh, it's the evening time. Hold on. Well, we did another. Oh, I just had it. Never mind. Okay, so we did another pop artist today, and of course, it was a colleague of Roy Lichtenstein. I just have that name stuck in my head, maybe because I just really enjoy Roy Lichtenstein's paintings. But we listened to music of that time period just so that we can get further background and understanding of just the feelings that were going on during that time period. So that happened during the 60s. So we listened to popular music from the 60s, and that was really fun too, because of course children are may not be exposed to that kind of music because it's just very, very dated. And being able to expose them to this kind of music and be able to explain the kind of feelings that were happening at the time, but also being able to listen to, okay, this is what was popular, this is what people liked, this is the sound of the 60s. So that is a really interesting time, and we're going to definitely go into uh, music artists and their process and all that good stuff, and then go further into time with whatchamacallit, with artists too. Right now we're just doing contemporary art. I'm trying to go back to where I was over here. Oh, yeah. So this is our art and music class. So I hope that all of you guys have taken some interest and are just at least curious about this class, because this class has so much to offer children and being able to express themselves and being able to learn about the world through art and through music, to learn about history and what was happening during that time period, and also learn about other people's lives, people who have either made it to success or maybe who didn't become as popular up until later on, later down the line, that people started recognizing their work and then were saying, oh, this is amazing and masterpieces, and how that even came to be. Why did people not realize that before, but they're realizing that now? So there's so much thought, there's so much critical thinking, there's so many opinions, so many ideas to go through in this class. So this is honestly a really, really engaging class. So anyways, I hope you all had a good time listening to all of the information that I had tonight. And of course, if you think that somebody that you know may be interested in this class or would like to possibly get their children into a art or music class or music or art history too, then please feel free to share this video. But yeah, we are all done for tonight. And thanks everyone for listening. I will see you guys for next Thursday. Bye, everyone.